ambassador, where people can be depositing their trash there. So this is one of our shops that we are partnered with Mama Maiko, and she accepted. So once people are finished with their trash, they always come here. And basically we are trying to make it a daily process, even if it's one type of trash. Once you're done with it, don't put it in the dustbin. Just come with it at the TakaBank, give it to the shop, and you'll be given tokens. So once you accumulate the tokens, of course you can get anything that is being sold at the TakaBank, you can redeem using your tokens. So for example, maybe today you want to buy bread and you have maybe a lot of tokens. So initially the shop owner gives a certain type of price. For example, you can say that this bread costs 50 shillings. But if you have 100 tokens, you can get it for free. You can just redeem it with the trash. So basically that's what TakaBank means, and we were saying if this TakaBank works all over in Dandora, this means of course even the place will be clean, people will see the value of trash, and of course it even even if in your household you might say that it's hard for you to buy a certain stuff. So we were even putting it in, how can we even get to pay for you rent just because you're being so if your rent is 2,500 and you're having a challenge for that, we're just telling you, just make sure that whenever you are using trash, bring it to us and we'll give you a target. If you bring maybe 3,000 points, we will pay your rent directly. We will pay for your school fees. You can make even a target if you want to buy a television. If you just keep bringing the trash to us, we give you a target and we will sort you out. So basically, that's how TakaBank works.
Is this for all plastics, or you have a particular type of plastic you collect?
Not plastic, but all types of trash.
Yeah, all type of.
And also, nobody was really talking about the importance of plastic recycling. You know, the way we talk about the importance of plastic recycling and the pollution, that was not as evident, and in the awareness at least, and in the conversations that we see, as it is today. So when we started Mr. Green Africa, it was based on two ideas, or two principles. The first principle is based on, can we buy back the plastic waste from communities, local communities, as you have seen today, in a fair, in an ethical, in a transparent, in a more dignifying way. That was principle number one. And then the principle number two was about local value addition. As it is with many commodities still today, the local value addition is very limited. The value addition of many commodities happens outside of the country of origin. And for us, it was clear from day one, if we truly want to redistribute value, we need to do local value addition. So those were the two principles. Yeah. As a first-time entrepreneur, moving to a country that I didn't really know, we didn't know how we're going to execute those two principles, but we knew that's what we want to do. And fast forward now, a couple of years later, we've been able to build Mr. Green Africa. There is three key parts to the business model. The first part is the collection that you just came from. Many different buyback centers across the different cities in Nairobi, where we buy back the plastic waste in a more fair, in a more transparent way. Yeah. And then the second part of the business is local value addition, which you see, or which you will about to see on how we create now or turn waste into value. We sort plastics by type, by color, and I'll walk you through the process. We'll then process it through a mechanical recycling process, and then we'll turn it into what we call pellets that you see here behind me, that are becoming a new raw material that can be used back into different various applications. Consumer packaging is one great example, but there's many, many more examples. And then you might wonder, what is the third approach? Because that's the two things, right, that we do. The third key part that distinguishes us as a business is the fact that we collaborate with brand owners like Unilever, like Shell, like Total, and a couple of others to come, that enable them to use recycled material, a more sustainable material in their packaging. Yeah. And that, in the beginning, when we started, there's a perception around plastic waste and recyclability of the plastic waste that it can never be as good quality as virgin. Yeah. And that if we take it as an industry, as a plastic industry, it has to be much cheaper. Yeah. So there we had to fight through and break down a couple of these barriers in order to create a sustainable business model. Yeah. And that was only possible because of the commitments that the brand owners had, Unilever, for example, or Shell, of using recycled material in their packaging. With that demand that has been created, and that has also only started around 2016, late 2016, early 2017, when these commitments started coming in. If you look today, there's, I think, in the world like 400 fast-moving consumer goods companies and brands. All of them have commitments of using recycled material in packaging. In 2015, this was not the case. And so we work very closely with these partners together to enable that and to showcase that it's possible. Yeah. And that's the third part of our business model, a partnership-based collaboration and sales approach that we have. Yeah. So